Stamford Bridge would bring their 94th encounter in 115 years between neighbours divided by 1 kilometre and a century of imbalance. Big brother versus little brother. Fulham had only beaten Chelsea 13 times in 115 years. Was that afternoon the page where the story changed? In Marco Silva, the 46th man to wear the crest as Fulham's manager, he has already redrawn the map, ending a draw since 2006 with 2 wins over Chelsea since taking over in 2023. A third victory would make him the first Fulham manager in history to get 3 wins over Chelsea. The stakes were set and kickoff took place at 12:30 PM at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea entered their 3rd consecutive London derby of this new Premier League season without their talisman in Cole Palmer. But in his absence, a new compass, a new talisman in João Pedro, the record buy of the summer, arriving with 2 goals and an assist in the 5-1 demolition of West Ham. If Chelsea were to take anything against Fulham, João Pedro would be that decider. From the first whistle, this was going to be a physical game. Delap commits the first foul of the game and Chelsea lean into the derby. Cucurella and Delap then combined down the left-hand side, with the striker lashing a venomous effort towards goal. Maresca would have stressed the importance of getting the first goal against this Fulham team. Then, the twist of the game rears its ugly face, with Liam Delap's enthusiasm chasing down a lost cause down the flank, and then he stops dead. The stadium gasps in frustration. All 40,000 fans had known what had happened before any examination was needed. Delap places his hands behind his hamstring, and that action painted 1,000 words. This wasn't good. With Nicholas Jackson finding himself 709 miles away in Munich, there was no available support to replace Liam Delap. Tyree George emerges off the touchline. Fulham, sensing Chelsea's loss, reacted gleefully. They knew there was a moment here that they could take advantage. Without Delap's threat, Fulham felt emboldened. They started to press higher. They frustrated Chelsea by closing passing lanes off with their energetic and combative mid-block. Their plan was clear: force Chelsea into errors in their build-up play, win second balls, and break quickly in packs. Simple, effective, and pure London derby. Fulham grunted and they thought they had their moment. Chelsea defenders struggled to play forwards, and suddenly, the moment Fulham had been waiting for presented itself. Chelsea dispossessed in Fulham's half. Fulham pounced quickly. A pass drilled straight to Joshua King, and the ever-present Caicedo surprisingly doesn't win that second ball. The pressure's mounting against Chelsea's back line. Fulham's break continues. King finds Muniz, whose 360 turn produced so much power that Jalaba finds himself flattened in agony. No mercy was shown by Fulham, and the mismatch Chelsea tried to avoid presented itself. Tosin versus King. Tosin at 6'4", King at 5'6". It was the football equivalent of David versus Goliath, and we all know how that story ended. King was 1 step ahead. He instantly deads the ball, turns inside, taking Tosin out and off balance, and the moment was there to seize. And the 18-year-old surprise talent of the season came out the victor, hitting a lovely reverse shot to Sanchez's left side. Fulham had done it. Their energetic, no-respect play rightfully put them in the lead. However, the twist did not stop twisting. Through all the adulation, through all the chants from the away fans, the noise was instantly deadened with the familiar, haunting calls of the referee's whistle. What's going on here now? Amidst the scenes, a decision was being reviewed, one that proved pivotal to this entire game. Muniz was being examined in closer detail for his actions against Jalaba, and in closer examinations, it was revealed as Muniz was turning on the ball, his planted leg landed on the foot of Trevor Jalaba. The magnitude of this decision was not taken lightly by the VAR team. 8 minutes of added time was rewarded at the end of this first half. The refereeing team knew the importance behind getting this decision right. After some time, the referee announced the dreaded words Fulham fans did not want to hear. Muniz had fouled Jalaba, and the outcry of this decision would be felt for more than a week. Chelsea had their lifeline in the game, and once play restarted, the game becomes a frenzy of lost balls, fouls, start and stop play. This was the pivotal time both teams knew would decide this entire counter. Whoever came out on top of this period could have the advantage. Fulham hustled, fought, and pressed. Fulham had thought they found another opening. They engineered a great third-man run move, with 18-year-old King reversing a cutback cross to the on-rushing Castagna, but out from nowhere, Moses Caicedo had appeared. Like Batman overseeing Gotham, he allows for no crimes inside his box. His last-ditch tackle stole the ball away from Castagna before he took the shot, and there was this growing sense that this Fulham game was not sustainable. The Fulham engine was starting to lose its steam, and this was the moment Chelsea had been waiting for. After much time, they were able to get on the ball again, and when the 4th official announced an additional 8 minutes of added time to the game, a new energy suddenly found the Chelsea players. The game started to become a bit end-to-end before the half-time whistle came. Esteval was finally seen on the field again, taking on Fulham players like they weren't there, ghosting past them, adding excitement, reflecting the resurgence in Chelsea's end of the half play. Chelsea suddenly started to win more corners, and thought they nearly took the lead from Tolson's deflected headed effort. There was a growing sense amongst the fans that Chelsea had ridden the storm and were ready to mount the fight back. Chelsea pushed on and pushed on in the final closing moments before winning consecutive corners, with the second one providing the most pivotal of the entire half. Enzo Fernández whips in a world-class in-swinging cross into Fulham's 6-yard box. Clear evidence that the methods are paying off after paying $1 million a season from their new set-piece coach from Brentford. And the man of the moment to take advantage of Enzo Fernández's world-class delivery was none other than Chelsea's hero in the making in João Pedro, who stepped up and headed home using great neck power to reverse the flight of the cross away from Leno, and Chelsea had done it. They had taken the lead in a half where they were second best, which was once an unprecedented thing in past seasons. Chelsea had taken advantage, yet knew the second half would not fare well unless serious improvements were made. The second half whistle blows and Chelsea pounce. Clearly emboldened by turning the game around at the end of the first half, they were encouraged to continue how they ended that half. Chelsea wide centre-backs were more aggressive in proactively dealing with the threats of Fulham's wide play. Gusto was encouraged to overlap even more to stretch the play and link up with the enigmatic Esteval, who found himself turning heads. He cheekily skipped past the imposing Basie in a blink or you'll miss moment. Instant dummy shift and acceleration, the 18-year-old was showcasing the talent that encouraged Chelsea to spend around $54 million on buying him before he even signed a pro deal. Chelsea felt like they had Fulham pinned, and on the 50th minute, Pedro holds the ball off 3 Fulham players. It's lost. Caicedo wins it back with great urgency. However, Fulham had different plans. The ball's flight is denied mid-flight, with Sessegnon turning his body away from the ball, spreading his arms to stop the cross, and instantly Chelsea players wave their arms collectively to protest, and the game is brought to a halt for yet again another VAR decision. The referee calls for quiet and awaits further instructions from his earpiece. The game is brought to a tense pause. Then suddenly, he points to the spot and a penalty is awarded. Many assume new star man in João Pedro, a man notorious for his pen success rate whilst playing for Brighton, would step up to rightfully claim the spot in Palmer's absence, but Pedro isn't about self-glory. He's about the team, and Chelsea leader in Enzo Fernández steps up from the spot and hits a low-driven disguised effort through the middle of Leno's goal, securing his assist and goal of the game as Enzo Fernández reflected the improvements in Chelsea. He cut a frustrated figure in the first half. He was tense, arguing towards Chelsea coaches on the touchline. However, he came out a different man in the second half, and he helped Chelsea secure a 2-0 lead from 2 set-piece moments. Was this the moment that takes the game away from Fulham? It seems like Chelsea could see the horizon after riding that Fulham storm. Fulham found themselves in an all too familiar situation, being behind to Chelsea, but how could this be? Their game plan worked, yet 2 decisions undermined the efforts they produced. Chelsea knew they had this game secured. There were moments to take the lead to make it 3. João Pedro nearly doubled his tally, but his shot was blocked inside the box. And Chelsea captain Reece James replaced Neto to shore up our rest defense. The 4th official announced another 8 minutes of added time. Chelsea's job was not done yet. Fulham had produced 2 late winners in each Premier League game. They don't know when they're beat, and Chelsea had to ride a later sort of crosses into their box, but when that final whistle blew, it couldn't have come at a better time. Chelsea fans had witnessed the first 3 points of the new Premier League season. Other surprise guests to what Chelsea's first 3 points of the season was a new signing in Alejandro Garnacho, his dream of playing for Chelsea materializing in the final moments of the window. Paul Atreides himself added star power off the Chelsea box as he was in attendance from the sidelines. Many would say that Chelsea's victory came at the expense of the referee, robbing the Craven Cottagers from a fair shot at 3 points. Yet no Chelsea fan will feel that outpouring of condemnation was fair, with 2 correct decisions maintaining the integrity of this London derby. Chelsea ended the game with an expected goal difference of 2.35 to Fulham's 1.02, creating 3 big chances, 13 shots to Fulham's 11, forcing 4 saves compared to Fulham only forcing 1. Fulham produced more fouls, 17 to Chelsea's 11. They won 29 tackles to Chelsea's 19, showcasing the intensity that they needed to play with in hopes of getting the upset win. Their high dual success rate reflected the importance behind using their diamond midfield to counter Chelsea. But it was Chelsea that showed they weren't pushovers. They matched Fulham for ground duels, 43 versus 43, but won the aerial battle success rate by 14% compared to Fulham's. Chelsea produced a whopping 18 interceptions to Fulham's 6, showing that they were 1 step ahead of Fulham's offensive plan, whilst showcasing more flair to turn the game around, completing 8 out of 19 dribbles compared to Fulham's 3 out of 15. Maresca was proud. He knew that his team would have to suffer, but if we kept to the game plan, it would showcase results. He lamented the loss of Delap, but refused to take criticism of the referee's performance, clearly agreeing with the the decisions that went our way, which was the complete opposite of how Marco Silva felt, who was still reeling after Fulham's team were denied by unbelievable decisions. He lamented the second goal, not excusing the handball, but being furious at the build-up to it, with suggestions that fouls came against his players and there was a handball from João Pedro. But make no mistake, this was a significant win for Chelsea. This was a mentality victory. Chelsea had to dig, hold out, fight back against a team emboldened to upset and disrupt us, and past Chelsea teams would have lost this battle. But this new Chelsea is built to be more multi-purpose and adapt to different rhythms of games. But more tests await ahead, with the final London derby coming versus Brentford after international break, as well as our first game of the Champions League against European giants in Bayern Munich. But maybe these teams need to beware, because this Chelsea team is built different.